Hey, Define Yourselfer. I am Chris Mitchell, aka the Confident Autistic. I am a late diagnosed autistic adult and a certified confidence life coach. Here on my YouTube channel, I share videos that will educate you on autism in adults, videos that will empower you to start living your confident autistic life, and videos of my journey as a late diagnosed autistic adult. And stay tuned to the end of this video for a free resource for autistic adults. October is ADHD Awareness and Acceptance Month. And in honor of my autistic brothers and sisters who also have ADHD, I recently purchased and read the Neurodivergence Skills Workbook for Autism and ADHD. Cultivate self-compassion, live authentically, and be your own advocate by Jennifer Kemp and Monique Mitchelson. Now, first thing I want to say about this book is this. It is truly a workbook. I read so many other so-called workbooks that were more book with very few, if any, activities that you could do to better understand yourself or your diagnosis. However, every chapter in the Neurodivergence Skills Workbook for Autism and ADHD has several activities that you can do to, of course, better understand yourself and to grow into a better person. Now, I really appreciated how this workbook went into great detail about common traits autistics and ADHDers experience. In some ways, while I was reading the book and they were explaining some of the traits, I felt like somebody got inside my mind and finally was able to put into words what I'm experiencing that I'm not able to really tell other people is going on inside of me. I know that sounds kind of wordy, but if you're on the spectrum, you're going to probably know what I'm talking about. So I think we connected at that moment. Now, not only does this book go into great detail about traits and characteristics ADHDers and autistic adults have, this book also provides extreme or extensive, not extreme, but extensive examples of traits that allow you and me, the reader, to better understand these traits within him or herself. So let's say you hear that as an autistic person, we struggle with burnout or even ADHD, but you hear burnout or you hear meltdowns or you hear executive function. And you think, well, I kind of think I know what that means, but I'm not fully wrapping my head around this. This book gives you multiple examples that will help you better understand. Are you having is it a meltdown or a shutdown? Is it emotional regulation or just, hyperfixation? It really helps you break that down so you really have an authentic understanding of what they're talking about and what you're talking about when you refer to the struggles you have as a person with ADHD or autism. This workbook is broken down into 8 chapters, starting with getting to know yourself and ending with creating a world that works for you. Now, these are important things. You got to get to know who you are and accept yourself, which is one thing I talk about a lot in my own coaching program, in my own books, that we start out with self-acceptance. That's where you really should start out with whether you want to build self-confidence or you want to achieve anything in the world. And then as a person with ADHD, autism, or any disability, or even not, you need to create a world that works for you so you can thrive. Now, within these 8 chapters, you, the reader, will learn about both autistic and ADHD traits. Hence the title, right? Yeah. Okay. You also learn about self-acceptance, managing overwhelming emotions, developing safe and supporting relationships, which is a really important thing to have if you're on the spectrum. You need those safe and supporting relationships because, as you know, especially if you're on the autism side, somewhat on the ADHD side, maybe equally on that side as well, that not everyone's going to accept you or understand your uniqueness as a person who is neurodivergent, especially if they're neurotypicals. And it's going to be a hard life. And no matter which camp you're in, neurodiverse, neurotypical, you want to surround yourself with supporting and safe relationships. People that you feel you can be authentic around, and people that you feel are supporting you no matter what your mission is and are there for you when you're facing some of your hardest days and your struggles. And this workbook also includes practical advice on friendships. Now, the person with autism And 20 or so years ago, I was diagnosed with ADHD, and I may actually be an AUDHDer. Friendships has always been very difficult for me. I think it's more difficult for me on the autistic side than it is on the ADHD side. I think it is more difficult for autistics than ADHDers, because ADHDers can have a ball of energy and it'd be fun to be around. Autism, we could be a little bit more withdrawn, reserved, a little bit more come across as more standoffish to neurotypical people. So this practical advice in this book on friendships is really a great thing to have to help us understand, especially those of us with autism, how to start and develop a friendship and how to maintain them so you don't have that many friends bailing on you. No matter who you are, ADHD, autistic, allistic, or anything else, you will always have friends that will bail on you. And that's going to happen. It's going to hurt. But the truth is, it's not the quantity of friends that you have. Doesn't matter how many. It's the quality. I'd rather have 3 really good friendships than 40 friendships that are just so and only there for me during the good times. Now, before I continue, I would like to ask you to help support the work that I'm doing by taking a moment to like and share this video. And if you like the content I do post to this channel, please subscribe to this channel. When you subscribe, do not forget to ring the bell to be notified of new videos and when I go live on the channel. These simple actions will help others grow into confident autistic adults by growing this channel's reach. Now, the only 2 downsides I found in this book are these. Number 1, in chapter 3, where it is discussing in detail about burnout, and there's a lot of talk in the autistic community about autistic burnouts. They set the expectation, at least in my opinion, they set the expectation to me that they were going to share practical ways to get out of burnout. Unfortunately, I felt that expectation, which I believe they said, maybe I misunderstood something. I'm not perfect. I don't always understand everything. To me, I felt that expectation was not met, in my opinion. The second thing that I found to be a downside about this book was I chose to read the audiobook. Now, April Dottie did an excellent job of reading the book. Her voice was soothing, reassuring, comforting, and non-judgmental. Her pace was perfect, not too fast, not too slow. My only regret in the audio version is that several of the exercises required me to grab my own notebook or notebook paper, doesn't matter, and create, for want of a better word, my own worksheets. Now, obviously, there's some worksheets. They will tell you how. There's some worksheets online. They will tell you how you can download those worksheets if you get the Audible version, and that's great. But not every worksheet is in that download packet. Some you will have to create by hand, and I found that to be a downside because that distracted me because I had to stop the audio playing of the video, not the video, this is a video, so stop the playing of the Audible book, make that, and then restart it and stop it, and it broke up the continuity of what I was doing. So I really did not care for the fact I got it in Audible only because I had to create some of the worksheets on my own. So if I had to buy this again, I would buy possibly the Kindle version, more than likely the paperback version. So all that workbook stuff is provided to me and I can focus in on doing the work that helped me understand myself better and help me grow as an autistic adult better than me having to also create from scratch. Well, they give you directions, but you know what I mean by create your own version of certain sheets that will maybe found in the workbook that are not there now. I have not read the ebook. I've not read the printer book, and it could be in the printer book, and the ebook tells you to grab a piece of paper and draw a line chart and put this on one side, that on the other, or make a list and all. It may be the same. I don't know. But if I had to buy this again, and in the future when I buy workbooks, I plan to buy the printed version instead of the audio or the Kindle version, just so everything's contained in one nice little book instead of the book being on Audible and my notes being in a binder somewhere else. I like being organized. I don't know about you, but that's one thing that's big to me. Now, you will find a link in the video description to purchase this book on Amazon, in the paperback version, the Kindle version, and the Audible version. Now, as an Amazon associate, I can earn a commission when you use this link to make a purchase on Amazon. Now it's your turn. Share in the comments or send me an email at chris@thechrismitchell.com your thoughts on this video. What did you like about my review? What could have been better? I want to hear your feedback. And if you have purchased this book and used it yourself, share your comments and your feedback or review of the book in the comments on the email. I read every single comment posted to this channel and every single email that I do receive. Until the next video, start living your confident autistic life now by getting 31 affirmations for your confident autistic life, a free resource available at my website, theconfidentautistic.com. Grab it now and start living your confident autistic life now.